Welcome back to Behind the Scenes, where today I bring you to the casino, which is the location to Unlimited Bangers, a race I originally built on PS4 when it came out on, when GTA 5 came out on current gen systems. Of course, when it came out, I was in the creator to see how many props they allowed. Very nice surprise, it was 100, and came right out here to build the track that I had been waiting to build. So, here we are on Xbox One, where on September 2nd I started construction of the track, and from this date, September 4th, there is now maybe a little over 19 hours of work put into this. I've changed it up quite a bit from the PS4 version. Let's take a look at our race details. It is a GTA race with laps. We've just put the laps at 5 for now. It can be changed pre-race. All classes are available, with the exception maybe there'll be a couple vehicles missing, like off-road. There's no Sanchez's or Blazer, ATV. It's just strictly automobile type off-road if you want to use off-road. I even left Supercars in. So you've got a 30 maximum player count. Default class is on muscle. The track was originally built in the tradition of demolition derby racing, or like it's called over in the UK areas, banger racing. And that's pretty much what demolition is. Demolition derby races or banger races is crashing into each other while you're racing, trying to get the top spot, doing what it takes. I've left the time of day, current, weather's current, anything could happen with the weather, well, as far as rain, I guess. So, we start off 30 players, hopefully it'll get 30 players someday. This finish and start line isn't here like this in PS4. Neither are these ramps here. So you hit the ramps, there you have a choice of various things to choose from. And we enter the first turn, where I've started to place these little train cars. And one of the things I've noticed in racing different variations of this track, whether it be other players' creation or Rockstar's creation, is, and maybe other players have noticed it too, is that anytime you race on this track, it just seems like the outcome is slow and boring as far as the race flow goes. It just seems bland. So my answer to that is down here on the corner. I started with train cars out towards the edge. Of course, you still get the pretty good width of the track, but as you come into the second turn here, you'll notice that the train cars start to tilt in just slightly. You don't even notice it when you're racing until you get around this area and you realize that, whoa, this is choked off quite a bit and there's not a lot of room to work with, especially if you used to have 30 cars. So there's a lot of opportunity to jockey for position, crash into each other, and have a good time. And this little straightaway I call Turbo Alley, just because I've placed a lot of turbos here. The ramps are timed, so you hit each one of them, unless turbos, of course. You can have the opportunity to clear some of them. So you hit the first set, boom, boom, boom. You hit this long straightaway. You hit the next set, boom, boom, boom. And at the end, instead of putting, like I did here all the way, are small ramps with very short inclines. But at the very end, I put large ramp. So it's a little bit of an unsuspecting thing. You'd be used to hitting the shorter inclines when at the end you finally take off. And you usually land, well, anywhere from here to in here. And when you come out, as you exit all of this, it starts to widen back out and take the choke off from the track till you get to here where it's back to its normal state. Now here you have double opportunity when you hit the rocket ramps to have two turbos behind you. And I call it the rocket ramps because, of course, as you can see, the rocket's here. Now you're going to have stunt jump, and in stunt jump view you'll have the opportunity to be in midair and blow up your opponent in front of you and possibly get a pretty cool screenshot to go along with it, or pretty cool 30-second clip. Later on I'm going to come back and update these camera views for the stunt jumps. I believe they should be up here, so when you come off the stunt jump, the camera's looking directly behind the car and you have full control of where you aim your missiles. Right now you briefly look at the front of the car and it can throw the controls off slightly. So, differences from the PS4 version is this start isn't quite as complex with the 3. It's just a single one. The ramps aren't here with the pickups. There are pickups in the original version, but they're not like this. The train cars are similar, but they're more spread out to here, leaving the track more open, and it plays off a little slower. There's only one set of ramps in the very middle on the original version. All these ramps aren't here at all. And the train cars on the left side are not in the PS4 version, as they're actually stacked, double stacked on the trains to look like a big looming wall, but I think this version actually plays out a lot better, and I think it's really fun. And if you get a lot of your friends together, I think most players are going to enjoy this track. I've put little ramps on the sides here in the event that players get stuck, else they'll have to just respawn on their last checkpoint. Checkpoints were added down through Turbo Alley in the consideration of having to respawn in the event of being exploded, or the very rare event of getting stuck out this way. And just simply press and hold Y and respawn on your current checkpoint. Where opposed, originally I had it, if you blew up, you would have to go all the way back to that second turn. The ramps are in the original version, but the stunt jumps are a little bit different with the camera angles. The added protection on the sides here to prevent players from going out is not on the PS4 version, or these train cars on the sides, they're not on the PS4 version. So, enough of the technical babble. And let's have a little test on it so you can see the basic flow of it. Of course, it's going to play out a lot different and differently every time you race it, with the more players you get on, different players that race it. Of course, you can only do what you can do with a creator. It's, in my opinion, I think it's really a very, the more primitive of creators for games that are out right now. Compared to some games creators that I've used, this is just very, very primitive and doesn't really allow much with its restrictions. I mean, you see a lot of tracks with these ramps and all these contraptions, but the flow of the races seems mucked up on the majority of the time. Oh, I flipped over. So when it comes to building the weird spiral contraptions and such as that, I really don't get into that. I try to stick with a more realistic racing. If I build a deathmatch or a capture or something like that, that's altogether different. Races, though, I like to try to keep as somewhat realistic as possible. The added fun of GTA mode is nice. Oh, I thought I grabbed that pickup. Maybe I didn't. Oh, I should have held on to the brake on that one. I may have been able to save that little drift. We did catch our speed back up. So you can aim those very well, but the brief time you're looking at the front of the car definitely takes away from the time that you could be aiming and possibly getting a kill. And again, possibly getting that really cool 30-second clip. Oh, ruined my car coming off that ramp. And the default vehicles are standard muscle cars. Like I said before, again, all classes are allowed. You'll get better realism, not racing customs. I feel it's just better to see the cars break up, where you don't really get that on 100% custom armor. It just seems to take ages for your car to show damage. I pretty much wanted this race to, you know, really show the damage that the cars can take, and it's just kind of, well, for me it's really fun, the fun of playing Destruction Derby. You see the cars break up well in the game. They look pretty nice when they're beat up. I would like to see softer physics, damage physics myself. Maybe just a touch softer. They still, even when they're standard, you know, no armor, they still kind of seem tougher than they should be. It just seems to have to take a really big impact to show damage sometimes. I believe with if it was just a touch softer, it would have a lot more realistic effect as far as, like if you're doing a demolition race or something like that, or a race that focused on damaging the other player's car. And of course, damage does affect quite a bit how the cars handle. Like that turn right there, I hardly could even turn for that. I'm just damaging the front end so bad. In this straightaway, you can actually, if you line up correctly, you can actually hit all of those, well, on one side, excuse me, you can hit all of those pickups and hit every ramp and make a really nice, you know, getaway out of Turbo Alley. I don't think I'll be able to do it like this in my current state. I'm actually going off into the willow wax. Now, I did add some ramps down this way, in the event of players wanting to keep their cars beat up looking. Of course, when you respawn, that will have to be updated. So for now, we'll just respawn. Which you just start right back at the track by the finish line, and you're good to go. Well, maybe I disagree with myself on how soft the damage physics are. That one crash seemed to beat that back panel up quite a bit, and that front panel just took it pretty well. I take back what I said about soft damage. Without armor, it's quite realistic. But then again, what does armor really matter if you're in a GTA race? Because one of those rockets hit you, you've had it. I mean, you still take damage, but it takes a while. For me, it takes away from the fun factor if you're doing one of these demolition derby focus races. It could be a little bit of a hindrance. Oh, we ain't gonna have a clean shot on this one. Of course, I'm just messing around with the Sabre Turbo, one of my favorite muscle cars. Of course, the Phoenix is probably my all-time favorite, as it does look a lot like my 81 Camaro, so you gotta go with your allegiances. Let's see if we can get a good... Oh, I think that front tire's, front rim is damaged a little bit. It's acting, seems to be hugging the right side a lot. Light that turbo off, get going here. Oh yeah, this thing's beat up. I can hear the bottom of it dragging on the ground bad. So we're coming up to the finish. Or the hell's scratch that too. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. Here we go. Give him a good one. Give him a good show. Oh, poor car. The brown turd car takes it in the pants. Oh, not doing too good now, are we? Those pickups right there, I'm going to spread out a little better and when I update the track. I'm not going to update it right off. I mean, I just published it, so we'll let it play out a little bit and see what's what. And that's going to have to be changed. We still have our checkpoints we can rely on to respawn. There you have it. After 19 hours of work, Unlimited Bangers is ready to go for Xbox One. Like I said before, it was published last night after I untied the knot from my brain. It's also on PS4. You can check out the original version and race it on there and see what it was before I made all the changes. But this was basically my answer to making the track feel like the race is faster. It's just so many variations I've raced that I've noticed that the racing is bland. It's wide open, it seems slow, and it just seems bland. I believe Rockstar actually published a job out here, and it was just wide open. I was really quite surprised to see that they didn't put any obstacles or anything like that, but oh well. But again, if you're on PS4, you can race the original version of it. And on Xbox One, you can check out the new updated version of it, which I think plays out a lot better. And I'm gonna actually change the default class. I wanted to see how, as much as I don't care for supercar races as saturated as they are, let's see how Supercar does on this track. I could go at her. That's definitely one of my all-time favorites. The Entity. Fairly well-rounded car in stats. This might not go quite as well. This would be the first time I've tried this one on with the supercars. In other versions of the track I've made, titled other things, I've built it solely for supercars, but it was set up so much different, and it wasn't a GTA race. Which led to the original idea of building a track out here that gave the illusion that you're actually racing faster than what you really are. At least hopefully taking the blandness out of it. Supercars may be a touch much for GTA mode in this. Of course, the train cars start choking it off here at Turbo Alley. And with 30 players, it could get quite chaotic. I think after I get used to racing supercars more on this, it might be fun. Might put that indie racing feel into it. Especially where the track's cut up a little bit here, and you know, it's choked off, so you do feel like you're going a little bit, quite a bit faster than what you're really going. You'll be jockeying for positions with so many players if there's 30 players on it. Oh. Whoa. I say that sort of. That's one of them where you just gotta have to respawn. And going the wrong way for some reason. Oh yeah. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Thought I was gonna pull what I did with that saber. Did I get it? Oh. There we go. It's gonna get interesting for those who pick the supercars, I've gotta say. You definitely get some good launches from the ramps. Oh. That was bad. Not very good at all. That was not very good at all. That was not a good example of how to race this track. Of course, I trust other players will learn from this mistake and not race like I race. Which is full of balls hanging out, dragging on the ground. And once in a while, end up in the salt. Also, some may learn from my mistake of not looking and seeing that you already have a pickup. Thus missing a pickup you're planning on grabbing. There we go. Nice and straight landing on there. Getting a little funny on first turn though. Oh. A damaged car is definitely hard to control through all of this. Oh, it's gonna be interesting seeing people hold their positions. Oh, not good. Those who do not line on the ramps properly will horribly, horribly get in trouble. Of course, they've made these little spots here to get in and out of now, which is a good little thing. There's the one I was looking for. See that? Nice, right clean through it. Easy with the throttle. Oh, I think I'm going out with no willies again. Damn it! And we come to the finish with the supers. And that's completed. Then we'll go back to details. I'm going to set the default back on muscle. Like I originally intended the race to be. Go back. We will update the version, even though we made no changes, we just tested with supercars. And that causes an update, so we'll update it, we'll make them happy. What did I do? Save? No, I versioned, okay. that probably could be taken out. I don't see the reason to have to update your version if you're just testing with different classes. Unlimited Bangers is finally out for Xbox One after 19 hours of construction. Many changes made from the original PS4 version. Hope everybody will get out and try it out. Maybe you can get lucky enough to get 30 players in your lobby and really give it a go. Like I said, I'll be doing a update video when I move these stunt jump cameras. Like I said, I want to put them on top of the stunt jumps, raised. Maybe just behind them, just so when you take air, you get full view of the back of the car, thus giving you instant control of where your rockets go if you decide you're going to shoot at somebody from midair. So get right out there and do some racing. I hope you enjoyed this episode on Behind the Scenes. We'll see you next time. I'll speak with you soon. Take care.